welcome back to the second hour of 8-Bits. I'm djWHEAT, joined as always by itmeJP and Jeff Green, aka Green Speak. Gentlemen, we didn't quite make it through the games that we've been playing, but that's okay. And a lot to talk about as far as PAX is concerned. So who wants to kick off the top of the hour now that we are done talking about FTL?
Jeff, go ahead, because I started at the end of last hour.
Sure. Well, one game that I finally got around to this week is Might and Magic 10. JP and I talked about this for a moment before the stream started. And JP, I know that you hadn't played Might and Magic before. DJ, had you?
Yeah, I played through quite a bit of not into some of the more King's Bounty type games.
Yeah. The Heroes of Might and Magic.
The Heroes, right? Those were pretty new to me up until this year. But like I was the guy that gamed on an 8088. So if you hadn't played a Might and Magic game, then shame on you back then. So yeah.
Right, exactly. So I was hesitant to play it because I was a huge fanboy of those original RPGs, which were made by John Van Caneghem and New World Computing back in the day. They were all his, just in the same way that the Ultimas were Richard Garriott's. I mean, it was all
right.
It wasn't all out of John's brain. That's not fair. There were other people, but they were his. They were his baby, basically. And so, like a lot of series, like he moved on. He's not part of it anymore. New World Computing doesn't exist anymore. And so I was hesitant to go into Might and Magic 10 because I just was like, I don't want to find out that they ruined one of my old favorites. I want to have my memories preserved.
Right.
But in fact, this game is incredibly, I don't want to say great yet, only because I haven't played it long enough to know. But so far, anyway, it feels like very good fan service in the best possible way.
This one you played, JP, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I put a lot of hours into it.
What I was most surprised about is, and it's interesting to hear that JP that you're liking it. It's so old school that it actually made me laugh out loud how old school it is. The graphics are relatively modern. I mean, you can tell the budget for this game wasn't that high. Yeah. So it looks pretty good, especially compared to the Might and Magics from the 90s. But the movement in the game is all keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Like in the old days, before mice existed. So you actually have to turn, with the arrow keys and then move forward with the WASD keys. And it's been so long since I've even had to do that I was confused. I was sitting there with my with my hand on the mouse, trying to move, and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So in terms of that aspect of it, and the fact that the levels are laid out as tiles,
right.
you can move forward smoothly, but it really is kind of a one tile, one grid at a time sort of movement.
Right.
Is insane to me that they actually did that, and it I can't imagine that people who didn't grow up with that stuff would think that was remotely fun. To me, it's an incredible way of nostalgia. You did?
Yeah, I put I don't know, I put at least 25 hours into it. I never finished it, only because it got to the point, the one thing that is old school about that game that I'm not a fan of is there is a set amount of XP that you can get in that game, right? And so you get bottlenecked and you get stuck really easily in it because you get to a place in a dungeon or a tower or wherever you're at, and you can't actually kill that thing because you're not high enough level, or you're just getting unlucky. It was one of those games where I'm constantly saving every 3 blocks that I move, because I'll go into a fight, and I know that I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna try it anyways and try to hope to God that I can get lucky with it, or that my build is proper enough. And that was the other thing too, is that I restarted 3 times to get a proper party for it, so that I felt like the party was strong enough, and it was not the one thing that was hindering me.
Yeah.
So it was good though.
To be fair, that's what I remember doing in the old games too.
Right.
constantly saving, constantly reloading, constantly trying the same battle over and over until I beat it, basically cheesing it until I won.
Yeah.
So there was that. The turn-based combat, like, it looks ridiculous, but it's fun to do. You're
Still
all
is
just
fun, yeah.
you're just standing there in front of a spider, taking turns one at a time to hit this fucking thing.
And you don't even see the animations from.
Yeah, you don't even see the animation. You just see the splat of the attack. It's so old school. I mean, I'm enjoying it, and I haven't played an RPG like this in a while. I've been playing other ones that are great. Like I played Witcher 2 a little while ago, which was fucking fantastic. I was bummed to hear that Witcher 3, I guess, is delayed now. A little
make
bit
it better though.
Well, yes.
I mean,
yes,
that's
they're delaying it for,
happy.
it sounds like, a good reason.
Yeah.
But just to have this sort of super old school experience again has been fun. So anyway, so that's me.
Yeah. That game really spoke to the loot whore in me as well. That's probably why I enjoyed it more than anything. The items in that game, and like they put in I think they're called legendaries that actually, as you get XP, they level up as well and get better. And so I enjoyed that aspect of it a lot. That was probably the one reason that kept me moving forward more and more, is I wanted to get better looking gear, better characters, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah, so pleasantly surprised by that one.
And I think it's pretty cheap now. I bought it at full price, which was 40 or maybe 30. But I think it's a little bit cheaper than that. I'm not too sure on the price of it, but definitely check it out if you've never played those old school games, or if you did play those old school games, you'll probably enjoy it.
And some of the old original Might and Magics are still available. They're either on Good Old Games.
Yeah, they are.
I think Might and Magic 6 is actually on Steam.
I think there was a sale not too long ago.
There was just a massive sale on those.
I think they had them all on GOG. For their.
Did they?
They had a sale. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take a step back in terms of the graphics and just be prepared for what you're getting.
Yeah.
but if you're willing to do that, then they're great games.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, someone's asking, Legend of Grimrock, is that kind of like that game? Yes, but Legend of Grimrock, I feel, is more like exploratory in a sense, where Might and Magic was more about items, if that makes sense.
It was, it was about items.
So
Might and Magic was also about lawn mowing. I don't know if you guys.
What do you mean? What's that term mean?
Lawn mowing is when you're looking at the mini map and you see all the grids that you haven't touched yet.
Oh yeah.
And so you just go back and forth over until you've made sure you've covered every single one.
I did that so much because I was trying to find like a random secret. And the thing in that game is there is a ton of secrets, and that was also cool too, because like you can only access them if you have a certain skill. And you'll like walk up to the wall and you'll hover over and you'll see like that there's some gears shifting or something, and you'll click that, then like the wall will go in and go out, and then there's also a ton of puzzles in that game, and the puzzles are fucking hard. Like I had to get out like a piece of paper and like write down what did what in this room, and like a lot of times I would just be like, all right, chat, fucking tell me what to do here. Like I don't want to mess with this shit.
Right, and that lives up to the old school games too. I mean, all of those games were very puzzle oriented.
Definitely.
Ultima, Might and Magic, the Wizardry games in particular were fucking real brain benders.
I just not replayed. I guess I pulled a JP where I'm just like, I'm gonna play, Ultima 7 and the Blackgate, and there is actually some shit at the beginning of the game that can make you so OP that I didn't know about until just playing it through most recently. Because I was like, God, compared to like the last time I played it, I bet there's all sorts of crazy resources on this game that like weren't around when I played it. Sure enough, they're like, go southwest, and if you can like run this one beast away and then lockpick this thing, it will have all this armor and this super, silver sword. And I'm like,
that's
holy
great, man.
shit! Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like
Speaking of Ultima, we'll go on a little tangent here. Did you see that they have Ultima Online now on Steam?
I did.
Shit! Really?
I did.
And they also put Dark Age of Camelot there, which spoke to me because that was my first big MMO.
Great game.
Wow. Yeah, I won't go and install and or play, but it is nice to see.
The crazy thing is that there are like super active boards on it now, so there's probably a ton of people playing.
Dude, UO is still huge, but
Yeah.
UO is like compared to what it was when I played it. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
A lot different. But anyway.
Are
I was thinking
they?
of playing Dark Age.
Are these games? How are they? How do you?
I don't know.
Is there a subscription?
I don't know if there's a subscription because Mythic's basically it exists, but it doesn't exist anymore, right? So like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just free to play or how
there
they're
it
doing
is.
that. I have a couple of friends that are still playing Dark Age or got back into it, but they're playing on like some non-legal servers that have a certain patch on it because they want to play that certain patch. But
Right. Yeah.
I thought about getting into it just because like that was my shit, man. That's what I was basically like. That is how my gaming career started, was StarCraft, Quake, and then after that I got into Dark Age, and that's where my MMO fiend aspect comes from. So if you haven't played it, I guess don't buy it because it's so fucking old. You're not going to enjoy it at all. But
Yeah.
it's on Steam, and I don't know what that means.
It was pretty at the time. I mean, all that realm versus realm stuff was super cool.
amazing.
Oh, it was
Ahead of its time.
it is still the best
Yeah.
PvP in an MMO that I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like the 8v8 in that game was so competitive. It was so fun. It spawned like IRC channels where everyone would go in there and like, all right, we've got 8, we're rolling in a main, come out and fight us. And then like we'd get someone to fight us and we'd just go and talk so much shit to each other for like hours upon hours and like, oh, that's bullshit. You know that's fucking overpowered. Like I can't believe you're talking shit about that. And then it got nerfed, and so like that group felt like so happy that it did, and we would just talk shit about how they won back then, but now they're never going to kill us, et cetera, et cetera. It was a lot of fun. I have a lot of fond memories of that game.
Let's switch gears on the fantasy for a second and go
Sure.
from Ultima Online to ESO, because I see that you both have it on your thing. Someone actually messaged me this morning, was like, "Hey, I know that your experience with ESO on stream wasn't fantastic, but have you returned, since then?" And unfortunately, the answer is no. But based off of what I'm seeing, both, yeah. Well, why don't you guys just
Go for it, JP.
I'll intro and say that the last episode I talked about ESO, and you guys kind of had a bet that wasn't a bet, but we still talked about like how long I would last.
Right.
And we thought, will you last a week? Will you still be talking about it? Then we realized that we're not going to have a show the next week. So then it was like, will you last 2 weeks? I lasted 7 days. So it was a week. But the 7-day was really just me saying that I could last 7 days and playing that game.
Okay.
So with that in mind, why don't you talk about it, Jeff, and then I'll add on to it.
Yeah, because Jeff, you had similar sentiments, as that maybe you couldn't find the excitement in the game, or it just didn't interest
And
you.
also,
what was it?
If I sold that game to you, I am so sorry. Well, 8-bits can expense it. Just send in the invoice. I'll pay for it.
Well, I'm still on a subscription, and I am stubbornly going to refuse to give up.
Okay.
But having said that, I will say that this is not an exaggeration. The last time I played it, I literally fell asleep at my desk. It was like a yet another like wall of text over some boring generic fantasy quest, and I was playing late at night, and I was already bored. And like the next thing I knew, my wife was like shaking my shoulder, waking me up from this very chair here, because I had totally conked out trying to play it because I was so bored. And I'm just trying to find out why this game exists still. I mean, it really feels to me like I want to like it. I'm trying to not be mean here, because the total amount of hours I've put into it is not a lot yet. Like it,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've yet given it its fair shot. But it's feeling so much like WoW and so much like EverQuest to me, and everything else. I'm not feeling the thing that made this. Made it like, why did they decide to make this? Like, where is the evolutionary leap
Right.
from the other fantasy MMOs? I wish I could, and maybe it gets better, but I don't know. You're saying you're done.
Yeah. I hit level 18. I was playing with my friend Ryan, who I unfortunately talked him into playing with me, and he's like, I'm gonna hit 50. He's still saying it today, and I'm just like, dude, you're not gonna hit 50. Just stop. He's like, I'm gonna hit 50. No, I'm doing it. Yeah, I don't know, man. It just, I think it was like the same thing as you. The combat is not, it's not sticky enough. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel like, it feels like you're fighting air. It feels like your animations and the actions that you're doing is just like whiffing air. It's not a
I'm
fun
fighting
combat
air.
system at all.
But that's always been the case with MMOs, right? It never feels.
Kinda. I mean, to me, I felt like WoW had those animations to where like when you would go and like stun something or when you would
Okay.
do some sort of ability, it had like that kick to it. It felt like you were actually doing something that was hurting this creature. In ESO, it's just like you're blowing air at their body. They're somehow taking damage. It's really weird to describe, but like WoW's done it, and only a couple of other MMOs have gotten that right.
I would argue that Auto Assault nailed it. Unfortunately, everything else about that game.
Auto Assault.
Dude, Auto Assault was so much fun, but they were basically victims of their own, I guess, big heads. In that when Auto Assault came out at the boom of MMOs right around, they insisted that they would need like 10 servers to like hold all their capacity. What little population they had was spread across 10 servers, and it completely neutered their game. And if they just would have been, and I swear to God, if this MMO would have spun up a single server and expanded as necessary, it could potentially still be around today. But they killed their own community and player base before they even went on.
Yeah. That was yet another one that was just ahead of its time.
Yeah,
you know?
Probably. Yeah.
That was fun as shit.
Super fun though. It made just even you mentioning it was like, oh shit, Auto Assault.
It had a robust crafting system, and I was like super crafter at the time. But
yeah, I mean, why isn't there has really not been a great like auto or mech MMO, like a great one? You know, it seems like yeah, I mean, actually, I would say Titanfall, which is obviously not an MMO, but the feeling of being online with a mech, like that's the best experience I've had with that so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
I mean, I
so
get
hard
it.
to like it. Like the systems in that game. Well, go ahead, Wheat.
I mean, what you guys are saying, everything that you guys are saying is basically what I felt when I was playing it for the first time. And, you know, it's funny because I've heard people say to me, but once you put that 20 and 30 hours in, you're going to start unlocking the things. I'm like, that can't be... that can't be a part of my gaming equation. Like, dude, you have to suffer through 20 hours. I tried to sell people with that before. It was called Guild Wars, where I was like, dude, play through the PvE because the fucking end game is amazing. I bet you did with DAOC too. Like, dude, if you just grind up this guy, then you can play it. Like,
the way around that was that you could hit 50 in like 6 hours in Dark Age once you had. Because I was the guy that had like the 4 accounts and like, all right, I'll power level your character up and we'll get you to 50 like right away. Yeah. You skip all the bad stuff and get right to the good stuff.
That part to me, if you can't grab me in that first 90 minutes, I don't know how you're going to keep me for 30
seriously,
40 hours.
That's a lot to ask anybody to have to endure that much for it to be good. Like if that's your philosophy, you're probably you got to grab people right away. I mean, the game looks great. There's that. Right?
Graphically, it does look pretty good. Yeah, it's got that going for it. My roommate is 50 now in ESO. He hit cap. I think over the weekend while I was gone. And he's still enjoying it. He says it's a lot of fun. Once you hit 50, you unlock I forgot what they're called, but basically there's 10 more levels on top of that, and you basically get ported back into the first zones that you can redo again to do these advancement levels.
Right.
And so he's been doing that. But one of the things that I'm really glad that I'm not into the game right now, not 50, because it would piss me the fuck off, is there's been this duping that's been occurring for the past week, and it's actually destroyed the entire economy of the game.
Yeah.
So much so that like my roommate was telling me that they used to sell gold for like $10 or $5 for I think it was 1,000 gold, and now it's like $1 for like that.
Ugh.
And so like people are running around with like legendary items, like full sets that you're not supposed to get till much further in the game, because they've just duped all the crafting items for it.
Yeah.
And so like the entire economy is just destroyed. I think there's a post on r/games about it right now, where like they don't know how to fix it,
I got it right
or
here.
no one knows how they could fix it, because if they just nuke everyone,
This is huge, you guys. This can kill.
it'll kill a game.
This can kill
Yeah,
games.
right.
This is, I like to call it the great intergalactic credit scam of 2003 in Star Wars Galaxy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
this
Yeah.
exact same thing happened. And it was like, to watch it unfold before my eyes, I remember how helpless I felt for the first time in a game, because I played that game as a merchant. You know, where money and the economy was everything to me. And as this, basically what had happened is there was a mission terminal that was broken, and it would give you a mission, and then you would be in the place where you would need to complete the mission. So it would just be you would just sit there and you would accept missions and you would get it.
Oh, God.
And so, at first I went through that phase of denial where it's like, oh, they'll roll back. Like, this is way fucking ridiculous. Like, they can't. They can't screw. They've screwed like guys who have worked for selling weapons and stuff. Like, they can't do that. And then once they're like, yeah, we're not rolling back because it was like too widespread of a problem. Like, the longer they waited, the more they couldn't roll back because of the progress that was being made. And then they put themselves in a shitty position. And within less than 3 months, their economy was completely fucking trash. Completely
it's already
trash
fucked in this game.
Right?
It's already royally
and
fucked.
there's no going back from that. Now, what really pissed me off, guys, is that I was reading through the comments and beta testers were like, "Yo, we were reporting the shit out of this." Yes, and I was just like, I don't get it. Like, that would be more important to me in getting that fixed than like that 2 FPS drop that we're getting near that fire, or that fire pit in this town. It's sickening, and it makes me sad for all the players, because I've been through that. I know what it feels like, and it does. It totally just kills everything.
And that's what my roommate said. He was really pissed off because like now he doesn't know like what the point is, right? Because people have already duped all their way to the best stuff in the game, so. What the fuck does he care? I think he's playing it right now, though, because I can hear the sound effects going, so I guess he's still interested. But the crazy part is I didn't know what the dupe was until I just looked it up right now. All you need, I'm not going to go into the details, but all you need is an auto clicker. You're not like sniffing packets like Diablo 2 and like rearranging that to like give you an item. You're just auto clicking.
Yep, literally.
Wow.
Yep, just a straight up duplication bug for ESO.
Ugh.
And of course now everyone's like, don't worry, it's fixed. It's like, no, you have to understand, like, millions upon billions of in-game credits were just created. It's no different. It's literally MMO inflation that can kill it. I don't know, Jeff, I know we've talked about the economy in MMOs, and I personally feel like the economy in an MMO is as important as the combat, as the game, as the lore, all that shit. And it just, to me, like, that's another reason to just instantly turn my back and walk away.
Right, totally. I mean, and even, again, this is not an MMO, but like Diablo 3, got wrecked because of the economy, and it only just got fixed now. I mean, apparently. I haven't played it enough to know if that's true, but it seems like it is. But yeah, I mean, this is how so many MMOs get ruined, or maybe never even get off to a good start, is because the economy is shit. And the fact that this has happened already in ESO's life. It's been out officially for what, 3 weeks? I mean, this is disastrous.
No, 3 weeks. You're right. Yeah.
At some point, it's. I mean, and then like, how do you even fix it? How do you? You can't like just do a do-over to the entire economy.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna restart, guys.
Or just be like, we'll roll back you know, to this point where like.
But even
when it
then,
became
this has been going on
widespread.
for like weeks.
Exactly. So how do you determine? I mean, you've got to think that Ultimo is actually pretty good because of their inherent flaws in the way that it saved everything. They were able to identify item duping rather quickly. And so, you know, usually what happened was when we would find something as players, it would then be like, how long can we try to use this? But everything, it was not a science. It was not like the video I watched where some dude was just like making shit. Usually it was like a 1 in 20 chance of like doing this action, and then something would result. We never came across like true game breaking. For some people, we stole everything they ever owned in the game, but you know.
Same
it's
thing
almost like. Go ahead.
No, I was going to go on a talk about Diablo 2 duping, but there's no need. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's almost like, you know, you almost need like a radical solution for this thing. Like, there's just no player economy or something. Like, I don't even know, which may sound stupid. I don't know, but it's almost like once crafting. I don't know. I need more time to think about this, but I can't articulate it well here now. But I sort of feel like maybe it's almost time for like an MMO where it's not that part is removed from the player, so that just specifically so the game doesn't get fucked up by the economy. You know, where all of the items are just in the hands of the game makers, and it's a matter of skill and a certain amount of randomization. Only because, like, once the economy is fucked up, how do you ever recover? I just don't know how you do it. Like, unless you get everybody to agree in the whole player base that a do-over is going to happen. And that maybe you're going to be one of those people where, you know, 200 hours of your crafting time is now fucked.
Yeah.
But it's for the best. You know, who's actually going to agree to that and not say, fuck you, I'm out?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone in the chat, Rain from the chat says basically they have to fix the bug and then raise prices on vendor items and just wait for the economy to balance. Like, that's probably the only way to really go about it. That's not going to just destroy the player base.
Right.
It's going to suck for everyone else that's like getting to that point, you know, that just hit that and didn't dupe, or they're going to start duping right now and just wait for them to fix it. Like that. Honestly, that's probably the best thing you can do as a player. If you're interested and you're already capped, just fucking start duping so that when they do whatever they're going to do, your experience is not ruined.
Yeah.
And that's shitty.
Crazy.
Like it's like you have to actually dupe these items to enjoy the game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's horrible. Yeah. That's so horrible.
So I don't know.
Days of ESO, huh?
Yeah, I've got a full, it's like a 45-minute video up on my channel where I go into like every system in the game, the PvP, the crafting, the leveling, all that stuff. So if you want to see me hate on the game more, you can go check it out.
I'm not done. I haven't uninstalled it. You know, I'm still paying. Well, I'm still on my 30 days, I guess, before the money kicks in. But I'm going to keep going because I want to, I'm not going to say I want to like it. I just want to give it more of a chance. I don't know why.
Well, good luck.
I want to believe that there's a reason that this game exists.
Well, yeah,
a good reason.
It exists because Skyrim sold 4 bajillion units, and they wanted to extend that into something else, and they tried.
I know. I guess I just want to believe that there's smart, and I know it's going to boil down to because they can get the money, they can get the $15 a month. But I want to believe that there's real gameplay reasons why they didn't just make Skyrim 2, even though I know that the answer is there isn't one.
Yeah.
I want to try to believe.
I really want to know how well that game did on sales. Like, I wonder if I bet you it sold super well because, like, the forums on, like, NeoGAF, that thread is massive. There is so much chatter about the game in there. And even on Reddit, it's huge. Like, there's a huge, at least, community trying to be involved in that game. So, I don't know. All right. We'll see.
I'll switch it up a little bit. I just want to comment a little bit on Lego Hobbit. because these guys, I'm the Lego guy.
Did you pick that up on Steam sale?
Actually, on PS4, so many could stream it from the PS4. These guys, they just they know how to print money, but they do it with quality goods. And is it a Lego game? It is. But you know what they did is they incorporated the whole concept of you're a dwarf and you build shit. So it has like this crafting system that intertwines with the Lego system now. And God, it's so clever. I'm playing through, and I got to be honest, guys. At first, I'm like, okay, I'm excited just because my kid's excited, and then I'm like, is it just going to be another Lego game? And then within the first couple minutes, they're like, oh shit, you guys are so clever, like you got me, like it's totally awesome. They really did the whole thing where it's like, well, they're dwarfs, so they have to always be working together to achieve the thing. And some of the things they do are just so damn clever. And then they tell the story from like a little bit different perspective even than the movie. Nice. So it's not just like if you've seen the movie, then you know what's going to happen. So they nail it, man. These guys, they always do.
I thought about you always give these games such high praise, and I've never actually sat down and played through one. And they were on sale on Steam this week for like $5. Like there was Marvel Heroes on sale for $5. There was Harry Potter, like 5 years 5 through 7. And there was some other one that I forget what it was. Maybe it was the Star Wars. I'm not sure, but I didn't do it. So maybe next time around.
They're so good. I
feel like they're more fun with friends though, and so I need to convince someone else to play with me.
I've played them solo.
Yeah, they're good still. All right. Maybe so.
They are.
Yeah, I mean
they're not going to change your life,
JP,
right. But they're a good 10 hours. Like, how long are they? Like 10 hours?
God, they could be 60 hours. And that's the other thing too. Is
Wait, really?
When you beat the first level and it shows you every level you like unlock new characters. There's like 70 characters that you can collect in the game.
Holy
and then
shit.
there are like 30 of them that have different effects on other things in the game. So like technically my kid's never 100% one of these. I don't even know if I met someone who's 100% one of these, but there is literally a huge amount of shit. And every level you're picking up special bricks, and these special bricks like build new things. And I mean, God, I bet you there's stuff in Lego games that like 90% of the people that have bought it have never even seen.
Never seen. Yeah.
And they're always such good fan service too. Like that's a great thing. It's like sometimes I feel like these Lego games do a better job of serving the IP than the more official games, just in terms of the references, the in-jokes. Like the Lord of the Rings game was maybe the best Lord of the Rings game, like period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, they're so good. We've I think on this podcast we've splooged about how awesome the Lego guys are.
Yeah.
Like it's just amazing how they continue to be relevant in the world in the 21st century.
All the time.
I mean, they were toys I played with like 40 fucking years ago.
Yeah. And they aren't slowing down.
Maybe I'll play one. I wonder if they're
Nice.
still on sale. I'll have to check.
I don't know if they are still on sale or not.
They're worth it full price, dude.
So I've still got. We'll go back to the MMO landscape because I haven't played the MMO that I want to talk about, but I know a lot about it because I've just been reading about it constantly because it seems pretty cool. But I jumped into Divinity Dragon Commander because it was on sale this past week while we were at PAX.
By the way, I must have looked at this game 100 times.
So did
I'm
I.
glad that you finally are going to tell me.
I was literally on my phone at like Saturday evening at PAX, and I was like browsing Steam. I was like, yeah, I'll buy that now and play it when I get home later this week. So that's what I did. I loaded it up. Probably put like 3 or 4 hours into it on stream. It everything outside of the actual RTS wheat, it's good. Once you get into the RTS aspect of it, it's not fun.
Well, wait a second. Isn't that like all of it?
It's probably like 50-50 of it. Like there's a lot of like story-based RPG stuff and decisions that you have to make. So like The basis of the game is that you are a dragon commander. You are like a descendant, or sorry, the child of a dragon, and I think like a human or something. I'm not sure.
Right.
But you can turn into a dragon, right? And so because of this, like you are basically made emperor, and you have a bunch of different generals that all have different political agendas. They're very one-sided characters where like they strongly believe in this, but they don't strongly believe in that. They're totally
Right.
against it, etc. And there's like undead, elf, dwarf, lizard people. I don't know how else to say that. And then gnomes. Or wait, yeah, or no, maybe it's goblins, or maybe it's like gnomes and goblins combined into
Big
one.
difference, man. Don't fuck that
Yeah,
up.
I know. I want to say it might be goblins. I think is what it is. But that aspect is cool because like you're trying to juggle and keep all the 5 different races happy. Because if you piss them off, then like you'll have a bad time with them later on in the game, from what I can tell. And you actually have to make some interesting choices. Like one is, what was some of the choices that I made? Like you could either deport people that commit crimes, or just like let them continue to live in your empire. And like if you do that, it'll piss off one faction, but it will make this other faction really, really, really happy. And I don't know the ramifications of that too much, only that they're really, really happy and you get bonuses for fighting on their lands, et cetera, et cetera. But like that's all fun. It's really cool. It looks pretty good. It's not mind-blowing or anything. You get into the RTS aspect of it, and it's just not that fun. Like it's very dumbed down. It feels like I'm actually playing Total Annihilation from like the PC Gamer disc that like came with the actual magazine.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
that's what it feels like to me. It's very, very, very simplistic. And if you can like turn into a dragon, you just kill everything.
So
like,
yeah, like I watched one of the videos, and it looked like there was a lot of
Imps,
sort of
that's what they are.
dragon, like it looked like there was a lot of dragon play going on. How much are you actually in this sort of like third
probably
person?
50-50. So
But,
like once,
so that part is bad, or
dragon stuff. Yeah, like
when
it's-
you say the RTS part, is it what I'm watching you play right now, or it's
dragon
literally
is part of the RTS. So like the way the dragon thing works is it takes 20 reinforcement or 20, I don't know what the supplies or something like that, and you can turn into a dragon and fight on the battlefield with them, and that has like an HP bar, and once that HP bar runs out, then you basically get turned down, and I think there's a 90-second cooldown or maybe a 60-second cooldown until you can call it out again.
okay?
But your
Okay.
dragon has jetpacks on
God,
it.
you know what? That's bullshit. Because the trailer, the trailer that I just watched is like 70% of you flying on your dragon, and that's why I always kept on looking at it. But you know what? I was like, I bet you that's like I'm reading the description, and I don't hear like amazing dragon battles on the back of and I'm like, something's not right here. So that's what it is.
The thing is, Wheat, is you can actually skip every single RTS fight in the game by having it auto resolve by using one of your commanders as the person fighting for you. So you never have to enter an RTS fight if you don't want to.
Man.
But that's taken away like a good chunk of the game, right?
Right.
I've been told that there's only a handful of maps that you ever see in the game as well. So there's no like unique maps like you get in an RTS game. So that's kind of shoddy, but it's kind of cool. Like eventually I think you have to choose like a wife, and there's like RPG elements in there. And like, I think if you marry the undead woman who is like just bones, like there's no skin, like she somehow gets flesh on her body and like I've heard that that's like a pretty funny / interesting RPG element to it. But the RTS I was not that interested in.
Man,
and someone makes the comment in chat like, do you think if my StarCraft 2 experience was not there, do you think that could ruin the simplistic RTS games? And maybe that might be true, but I don't know.
For the amount of dragons that they showed in that trailer, I suspect that like every time I click through your video, I should see another dragon just tearing shit up.
You're the only dragon. Well,
especially because it's called Dragon Commander. But so far in skimming through your stuff, I have not seen a single fucking dragon. I'm a little upset about that.
The dragon comes towards the end, or the
yeah, you're right. If it's called Dragon Commander,
you should
be commanding dragons.
Yeah.
Pretty much right away.
Oh shit! A dragon! Oh God!
Hey.
Oh God! Oh, the game is like, fuck you, here it comes. Okay, so hold on. I'm getting excited now. You're shooting a bunch of shit down. Everything died. It's just gonna
You're
stop and
just
go
like
back to the
super
boring
OP.
stuff. Oh, you're just destroying everything, but that's why it looked totally awesome. So, okay.
And you
how
can
long is
command
it?
all your units and stuff while you're in dragon form as well. You can create stuff. You can send them where you want to fight and stuff like that. And it's also weird because they gave your dragon a jetpack.
Yeah, I see it on the back
Yeah,
of
what
your.
the fuck is up with that?
So like you can boost away from a fight and like regen your HP if you don't want to be there really, really quickly. You can also like roll to the side and there's
Why
like
does
missile turrets.
why does a dragon need a jetpack though?
I don't know. They give you a jetpack at the start of the
If
game.
a dragon needs an extra speed boost, you know, it just flaps its fucking wings harder, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we're talking, that's not realistic. These are not realistic dragons.
The game like takes a very steampunk approach to a lot of stuff.
Well,
So-
that's not like the real life dragons I know. That's some horseshit.
So you are this dragon until you die?
Yes, or you, at any time you can also just go back into being whatever you are prior to this.
I see.
I guess just like commanding from above, or I don't know how it works really, but
Man, I miss RTSs. You know,
I do too.
looking in chat, there's some people mentioning all the old school ones. I really miss like single player
you know what's
RTS
good?
campaigns.
Warcraft 3 had probably one of the best campaigns of any
Great
RTS.
campaign.
It was just great.
Yeah. But that's
Like you
old.
get to
I want a new one.
you get to see like Arthas go through like his terrible
Yeah.
times and all that stuff. It was really cool. It was well done.
It was a good story.
It
Yeah.
was really well
It's
done.
pretty hard to sell those these days because like they are a big time investment. There is a lot of skill involved.
I guess, and I know that it was, you know, it played itself out. StarCraft was so dominant, but it seems like we might almost be ready for another generation of new ones, you know, with some new ideas.
Well,
Because I spent hundreds of hours playing those games in the old days.
Yeah.
Age of Empires games,
oh yeah, those games are great.
both online and single player.
Did you play the Age of Empires? I think it was just called Age of Empires Online, the RTS that was like the MMO.
I
I
never
did.
played that one.
It was
Wasn't
kind of
that-
interesting, but it was kind of boring at the same time. I didn't play it long
Planetary
enough.
Annihilation, people are mentioning. Oh, right, and Age of Mythology coming to Steam is fantastic news.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
I never played that one. I don't think, at least.
Promo
I
days.
thought
There's a
about
lot of
getting
people.
into I've been looking. I've been kind of doing what you did with Dragon Commander Wheat. I've been looking at Age of Wonders 3. Just like dancing around, like, you know, this looks like a fantasy civ. Maybe that's a good like time waster, but at the same time, I've been burned before. I don't want to be burned again. So
Oh yeah, this one just came out too, huh?
yeah, it's pretty recent. And it got pretty good scores from pretty much everyone. I just haven't committed fully yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, apart from that, I actually, Jeff, on your recommendation, I jumped into Lichdom.
Oh, yeah. What do
in
you
a battle
think?
mage. Looks great. I
Uh-huh.
feel like it plays a little slow and not that interesting because you're doing a lot of retreating.
Yes.
A lot of backpedaling.
Yes.
But the devs were actually in my stream when I was playing, and there's an update coming on the 28th of April where they've said that they're fixing a lot of that. They're
Yeah.
adding more combos with all of the different spells, and one thing I did enjoy was the spell crafting. I thought that was pretty
Right.
cool.
I think that's really cool, and I think that that's going to be one of the keys to that game's success.
Yeah.
is, the experimentation. It's actually like fun to do. Like there's a lot of RPGs, fantasy RPGs, where spell crafting is just like super tedious, and you're like clicking on a flower and clicking on a mortar and pestle or whatever. And this has a much more kind of actiony sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to understand. But what you said about the backpedaling is totally true, and I think that they know that that's a known issue.
And they said that straight up in my chat. Like, I remember I got an email from them saying like, we know that the combat is very not good right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, a lot of even FPSs are like that too, right? Or I feel like I play that a lot I play a lot that way, where I'm just backing up from enemies the whole time,
Right.
while killing them. But you're right, it's worse in this game, and it's good to know that they recognize that.
Yeah, they've got, like I said, update on 28th, which is actually going to be adding in all the voice acting. They've got Troy Baker and who is another big voice actor who is a female. I forget her name. Jennifer Hale. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's right, but they're adding a lot of stuff on the 28th. I think it's $20 right now in early access. It's got a lot of promise. It looks fantastic.
Jeff, are you the one that told me about this company?
Yes.
Xavier?
Yeah, he talked about that. That's why I played it on stream.
Dude,
decided to play it.
their booth was like amazing to me because
I know.
it was huge, but you know, like when you look at Ubisoft's booth, you're like, that's Ubisoft's booth, even though like Watch Dogs and Trials is everywhere. But like I had to search for the Xavier logo on their booth.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's so evident that they actually don't care about that and care about, come and see our game.
Right.
Really impressive.
It is really impressive. I mean, these guys like came out of nowhere. You know, they've never made a game before, and you know, obviously they have a lot of money, right? Because that booth was big. But you're right. There's so much about like they want this game to be good. Like they actually mean it, which is why I'm willing at this early point to be like a cheerleader for them, because I'm not seeing them saying or doing anything that feels just like cynical. It feels just like these dudes who like really want to come out of the gate with like a good game.
Right.
You know? Yeah. It's a little bit sad that we have to be amazed by that. But it is, but it's amazing.
The cool thing too, they're sticking to their guns in the sense like they were very interactive with my chat in terms of chat just constantly barraging them with questions. And one of the most common ones is like, why is there no crosshair? And they were just like, well, we feel as if you were a real mage, you wouldn't have a crosshair. You would just like move your hands and shoot in that direction. And it totally makes sense. Like I think they nailed that. I didn't have a crosshair the entire game. Maybe it's my FPS sense or something, but I didn't have a problem like hitting who I wanted to. There's also some homing ability a little bit on some of the spells that you cast. But apart from that, it was a pretty enjoyable experience. It was hard as shit too.
Yeah,
there were some fights where it got real tough, and I think that'll be improved with the combat. So.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of AOE stuff that's probably going to make a big difference in these fights with a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
I'm always sort of biased against games where the with the hands on the screen.
Right.
I don't know what it is. There's something about that. Like, I don't mind walking around in games like this all the time. Even when you're like talking to the friendly NPCs and you're just pointing your gun at their head. It bothers me less, but this thing always sort of creeps me out a little, especially when the fingers move. Yeah. But I'm getting over it with this game.
Yeah. And so I'm very interested to see where that goes. I bought in. I think it's going to be $40 at full. Or at launch. It's supposed to launch in August, and right now it's $20 for getting in now, and I think it's $20 till like June or something when they get to the next update they've kind of set. And it's also good to see a game like this have those milestones public, to where you're not just wondering like when is the next, like when is this going to happen? It's like this date, we are meeting this date. If we don't, then we'll update you guys as soon as we know. So.
Right. It feels like they're just being very responsive to the community, very open and transparent about what they want to do. And it's funny, like, being in parts of my job over the years, I've always, when I was doing community stuff for PopCap and for other people, I was just like, let's just be honest.
Yeah,
because
sometimes that's the hardest thing, man.
But it always drives me crazy when people feel like they can't be, because it's like these are not nuclear. We're not in nuclear war here. These aren't state secrets. And actually, the reasons why these things are being delayed or whatever they are, they're logical and they're reasonable. Right. It's not bullshit. So just fucking tell people, because who cares? Like, all they're gonna do is go, oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it's lame. We have to wait, but okay, right. So it's always bothered me in the industry that people feel like they have to cling on to this information and not share with gamers, when it's just, it's just normal, real, like practical, mundane stuff that is usually the reason why gamers aren't getting the game on time or this thing isn't working or whatever.
Right.
Just like, just fucking be honest. It drives
The
me
worst part,
crazy.
or sorry, the best like ammunition for that as well is like if you don't tell people what's going on, then they start making shit up as to what's going on, and then
They're
it
going to
actually
assume the
gets worse.
worst.
Yeah,
Right.
they assume the
Exactly.
worst.
They're going to
And
assume you're
yeah.
being an asshole. You're trying to figure out another way to
Yeah,
screw
I mean,
them out of money.
Look at Watch Dogs. Perfect example. They
Yep.
delayed it. They didn't say why, and so everyone's just like, "Well, we got to find out why." Then all those videos come out. And it's like, "Oh, this game looks like shit," and they can't actually deliver on what was shown at E3. So now that whole drama started, and now
Right.
everyone's just waiting for it to like fail at this point.
Right. And even
That's
if
the hype
even
for
if
the
they
game.
even if like on Watch Dogs, even if like that was the reason, just say that. Just say,
Yeah.
you know what, we fucked up. We showed it too early.
As a gamer, I would respect the shit out of that. I would
Right.
be okay
Right.
with that. I would be like,
Right.
great,
Right.
because I don't want to spend $60 on a piece of shit. So you know
Exactly.
what? You saved
Just-
me. Now yeah.
Right. So say, you know what, guys, like that thing we showed you looked awesome and we know it, but the game right now doesn't look anything like that. And we're sorry. So that was a fuck up. But now the game's going to come out a year later so that it does look that way. Like
Right.
who of us is going to go like, well, you're
those
assholes. That
guys.
sucks. You know, we're going to go, oh, thank you for not making, right. Thanks for not fooling us. Anyway.
Exactly. Well, I've got one thing left, 1.5. What about you?
Well, I mean, people have been asking about it in chat, so I figure we might as well talk about that too. That's the H1Z1 stream
Yeah, I watched
that was
it.
on yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to hear your opinion, JP, because I know this is like a game right up your alley. But I just wanted to say, I'm pretty happy because on the show, I think I've been caught saying 3 or 4 times, I feel like these games would be more fun in a persistent world where there was thousands of people and not just 64.
Yeah.
And that's what it appears like they're going to do.
What they're
Also,
trying for, I
adding
think.
on maybe like a crafting side that's a bit more like Rust. I mean, I know we saw a lot of stuff that was a bit, early, arguably alpha, but it seemed like a good attempt to go, let's take the great things from these games and then let's turn it into a larger experience with more people.
Yeah. It looks interesting. I think the stream maybe had a little bit of an issue when it came to presentation and what they were actually talking about yesterday. But when they actually showed the game and got into it, it seems like the way that I look at it is it's a DayZ with developers that actually have a real team and funds behind it and can probably deliver on something a little bit quicker than all these other people, which is kind of like a one-man show, or the game just has been in like alpha for so long that I don't ever trust it to be done. Like I just don't, I've lost a lot of faith in Rocket and his team with DayZ to ever finish that game where H1Z1 comes out and a lot of the systems that are in it have been promised from day one of DayZ and it's still not there.
Right.
So I'm already on board with H1Z1 for that. And that's a really shitty way to like basically say fuck you to Rocket and the whole DayZ team. But hey, if someone else is giving me what I want, then I'm probably going to go to jump to that thing. Some of the stuff that they showed, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding like how hard it is to get that. Like they had a full-on working car in that game, and I was talking with a couple people, and they were saying that's like something that could take like a day to complete all of the stuff that you have to get for that. And the other thing too is that
Like
when
a
you
day
like find
to actually make it.
like yeah,
Yeah,
and
'cause
the
they
other thing with
said-
that is like if you find a car, you'll find the car, but you got to have someone watch that car. Otherwise, someone else finds that car, and if they have the parts, then they can build the car, right? So then it becomes like a race of like, well, we have to have someone watch this car, and 2 people have to go collect all the stuff for it and come back. And so that dynamic is like really cool to me because it's like some guy's gonna have the shitty job of sitting there all day out in the trees and watching this little area. So if anyone comes in here, you have to kill them or like make friends with them. I thought that was pretty cool. Like I already see a lot of different things popping up where I can see like an interesting story building or creating itself around that one thing. And It's also super interesting to see, and I think you just showed this on stream, more than one zombie on a screen at a time.
Yeah.
And I was in the fact that like these zombies will actually spawn without a server restart. So that's great. Like that's already better than DayZ. I don't know if that's been fixed in DayZ, but when I was playing the standalone version, it wasn't. The gunplay looks kind of interesting. I don't think one thing that the Arma 3 engine does have on them is that the gunplay is really good to where you have like head movement, you've got full on body movement, and it'll always have like that, I guess you can say, realism factor in it. So that's kind of one thing that I haven't seen yet in this game. Maybe it's something they plan to add in the future. I'm not sure. In the day-night cycle. So one of the other things too in DayZ that I understood, but I was kind of annoyed with, is that like it was always locked on this one specific time of day, and that it never changed. You could find servers like that, but in this game, it's actually like a full-on day-night cycle. And when it becomes nighttime, it's like it's fucking pitch black. You cannot see.
It's like Alan Wake.
Wow.
It's you're not seeing shit, man.
You cannot see a fucking thing. It looks really scary. Again, talking with some of the you pull out a torch.
Everything sees you, right?
Right,
so
right.
I like that. We'll probably see.
I was talking with one of the devs, and they were saying that like when it goes night, it is actually a scary game. And I was like, that's great.
Nice.
That's awesome. Great. It's not like an MMO where I'm just walking around scared of like, or it's not like DayZ where when it's nighttime, you just can't fucking see anything and there might be a zombie.
It almost looks like sort of I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like a nighttime drawing when the torch goes out, like you just see sort of the moonlight just kind of coming in.
Really well, that's the other thing too, is there's the twilight hour when the moon goes behind something. And then it is literally pitch black, where you cannot see a fucking thing at all, unless you pull out a torch, which is pretty cool. So it's got that going for it. A lot of people are saying like it's a reskinned PlanetSide 2 because it's running on that engine. That's great, because PlanetSide 2 can fucking support 1 billion people on screen at once.
Yeah, that's actually really solid. I've never had a problem with that engine, whether it be graphically or a rig not being able to handle it. So. Yeah. You know, again, it's not going to like win any graphics engine of the year award, but if it can get the job done and support that many players, that's as important if you're shooting for a game like this where you need that performance and you need that engine to be able to do that.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks cool. They've said 4 weeks is when it will go early access on Steam, and I think it'll be $20. So we're going to be playing this in 4 weeks, which is kind of nuts.
Nice.
Because they just announced it last week. It's been
like
in
early access, though?
Yeah. They said it's been in development for 5 months. So that's pretty good. I mean, of course, they used a lot of the assets from PlanetSide and all that stuff. So,
is it findable now or no?
What do you mean?
I mean, can you, I'm looking for it.
I think you just have to go to h1z1.com or something like that.
Got it.
Or,
okay.
The other thing, too, and this wasn't in that presentation, Wheat, so I don't know if you read this, but Smedley, the CEO of SOE, made a post on the subreddit, and one of the things that they're doing is if you spend, right now they're saying 5 hours in this game, you get a token, right? And this token allows you to vote for what type of server you want to play on. And if they get enough, so like whatever the community votes, then they're going to build that server. So if it's like a role-playing server, or it's an invite-only server, or it's like, who knows? If it's a PvE-only server where everyone just wants to build, they'll make a server specifically for that you vote for as a community.
Wow.
You can also buy in to get a second token, but I think they said you can only get 2 tokens a year max. So if you really want to support a specific community, then you can vote for that.
That's cool.
So like, that could be really cool because it could lead to some really interesting server types. I pitched them the idea yesterday of like, if you really want to do a big, cheap marketing exercise for this, get 64 of the top streamers on Twitch, get some way to observe the server, throw them all into that server for 12 hours and just stream it and let all of them stream. And that's like the best marketing you can get for this game. Because they've done that with DayZ, like a battle royale, but it's only been community. Like SOE has the team and the experience to be able to do something like this themselves and also promote it properly. So if they do something like that, then I'm totally in. That's going to be great. It's going to be a ton of fun to do stuff like that. And even if they do like a battle royale server, which have you ever seen anything like that, Weed, in DayZ?
Yeah,
So
in fact, I saw the original Survivor games, and
Yeah,
not only
it's
was
awesome.
it just the most
It's
chaotic
hilarious
and beautiful
awesome.
thing I've seen, but yeah, it was pretty great.
It's like 32 people with teams of 2, all trying to kill each other on this small little island, and like a gun will spawn or something like that, and people will like fucking run for this thing, but they've also got
awesome.
guns of their own, like shooting at these people that are going to run for this thing. It's like it's one of the
So it's like
greatest-
Hunger Games.
It's exactly what it was. Yeah, it's exactly what it was. It's and I've said this about DayZ, like it is one of the only experiences of its kind that you can get in a game like that. And I've never experienced anything like that in any other game. It's awesome. I can't wait to see what that game really looks like in the future. So we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'll give this one a chance. I like the scale of it. So
Yeah, and there's definitely interest because they had 26,000 people watching yesterday with a stream that had no announcement. So there's definitely people interested in it. I know they've been talking with, I think Lyric has been talking with a lot of the devs as well, who's a big popular DayZ streamer that has a gigantic fan base. So I think he's probably going to be playing it in some fashion.
checking
So
it out.
So yeah, it looks pretty great. I want to see more of it because they didn't show too much of it yesterday. They showed what they could, I think, is the best way to approach that. So, what are you looking at? You seem lost in something.
No, I was just looking through some of the other footage and reading through the subreddit. If you go to the page, it actually takes you to the subreddit, so they're kind of like funneling a lot of stuff.
Oh,
there.
interesting.
So it's all. I mean, it's like all there. And like you said, a lot of it's funny because I was reading through one of the like, guys, it's alpha, can you just chill the fuck out? Where like, of course, people are like, well, I was excited for this game, but I noticed that it doesn't have A, B, X, and 4, so I think it's going to be a piece of shit, and I'll just keep playing this. And I'm just like, and then you got the guys who are like, yo, man, we've seen 2 hours of it, can you just chill out? And then I'm like, yes, the internet circle of life goes on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's the double-edged sword of early access and being transparent and showing everything all at once.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the upside is that like people get to feel like they're sort of part of it, and that you're on their side and you're all doing this together. But then the downside is people not getting. And I think most people do. It's more like the occasional, like, random moron who does that. I think most people understand.
Yeah, I'd like to think. I'd like to think that those guys with
I want to
brains are
believe.
using them. Yeah, I do want to believe so bad. So I don't have anything else in terms of
Jeff,
games.
you got anything?
In terms of games, not really.
What's Duet?
If I go back to my Duet, Jesus Christ, this game's so fucking hard. It's on iPad right now. I saw it at PAX East. It was in the Indie Mega booth. I saw it being played with controllers, but it's actually available on the iPad right now. And it's just one of those games. It's like it's got a really simple. It's just basically like maneuvering shapes. You've got very hard to describe it. You've got a sphere at the bottom, and it's got like two colored things. And you have to maneuver the two colors through these moving blocks without touching.
Ooh.
It's all logic and geometry, and it's really fucking hard. And it to me, like I'm playing it because I want to get better, but this is the closest that I've come to a rage quit iPad game.
This game looks
where
rough.
It's rough. I mean, to me, it's like one of the things where it's a game where like your brain has to. You may just either have the brain that can do this or not have the brain that can do this.
Right.
I will freely admit that though I did pretty well in school, I got a C in geometry because I'm just not spatially oriented very well. And so this game does not really naturally work for me, but I keep trying it anyway. Yeah, I see it on screen now there. Yeah, you've got to maneuver the red and blue dots past these shapes without touching.
And you only maneuver it along the circumference of the circle.
Oh my god,
Yes,
they
the
turn
long
into
circumference of the
assholes with
circle.
this game.
Oh,
Holy
yeah. I
shit.
can't wait
They'll
to
drop
play
a
this.
single shape and then it turns into like 3 shapes at the last moment and you have to like dodge them all at the fucking same time.
And you have to dodge them, and all you can do is rotate that sphere.
And then some
All you
speed
can
up
do.
and some slow down, man.
I'm
Fuck that
not
game.
sure I
I'm not
quite
playing that.
understand because I'm not looking at the actual gameplay. I'm just looking at screenshots. But do
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
spheres, Jeff, work? Like, do they always? Are they? I guess.
So that circumference, if you see the blue and the red dot there.
Yeah. Well, do they always
that-
connect
that
by
they-
a straight line? Is what I'm asking.
Yes.
So the blue and the red dots are never like right next to each other in that
No,
way.
no,
You're
they're always
literally
in that
just
exact same
rotating.
position.
Ah, interesting.
And so you have to constantly dodge the blue and the red. And you know, a couple Axel 231 instances. No offense to the game, but it seems like you could sell anything on iOS. Well, it's true. I mean, to some extent, right. This is these are just shapes that you're moving around. I mean, this could have been somebody's student project, sure. However, the mechanic is really well implemented, and it's fucking hard as hell. So
Flash also
I'm not
doesn't
saying
have an app store with $1 bazillion and everyone's eyeballs on it. Like that's been because I know like, dude, I discovered tower defense through Flash, and if I by luck, right? But now you can go on the app store and I can play about 10,000 tower defense games that are better than the original one I played. It's kind of like that. Like,
and the other thing about this is completely skill based. This is not anything other than skill. Anything other than you have got to figure out, because these are solvable. I watched people solve them. I'm not saying this is like game of the year or anything, but it's just one of those great 2 minutes until I get pissed off time wasters on the iPad.
Yep.
I'm gonna try it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to give it a shot.
I guess I played a little bit of the last game that I played, but I still want to talk about this other one. Was I played some more Diablo 3, but I'm playing hardcore, so it's like if you die, your character's gone for good. So I was playing with a bunch of friends last night.
Yeah.
Got to level 14. Person died. It was pretty funny.
And this was for Diablo?
Yeah, for Diablo 3.
Oh my
I'm just playing with Ryan and Caitlin from Roleplay and one of Caitlin's friends. It was basically the entire time we're just trying to fuck each other over. Like we're playing on the hardest difficulty that we can, and like me and Ryan know all of the mob types, so we know what to look for. And Caitlin and Brent have never played Diablo ever.
Oh god.
And so like we just throw them into hardcore just right off the bat. And like they're like, so how do I where's my item? And I'm just like, watch out, you're about to die, and they'll like run off to the side.
No.
So it was pretty awesome when they died last night. I had a lot of fun with that. I'll probably keep playing it. It actually makes the game a little bit more interesting when you have like a true fear of death in a game where you probably just die 1 billion times if you don't. So but yeah, I think kind of moving on to the news, what have you guys heard of Arcade? Has this game ever like blipped into your radar?
Only
Not
because it
yet.
popped up on
Twitch, right?
Yeah.
So
There's a
it is a Korean MMO, which probably right there, a lot of people are just fucking trying to jump out of the boat as soon as possible because you're thinking like grindiness, and there's a lot of things that come attached to that. But they're marketing it as a sandbox MMO, which is kind of interesting, and that's kind of what got me involved at the first. But it's such a weird looking take on like the MMO world that I'm really interested in at this point. I want to see what it's like. I've watched a lot of streams. I'm supposed to be getting the alpha here in a day or two.
By the way, this
if not
isn't
later
the one
today.
that had that crazy character.
No,
Okay.
that's Black Desert.
Okay.
Or I think it's Black Desert. They showed a little bit more about that, by the way. There's another video out there showing the actual game.
So when I hear
It's like milking cows and stuff. It looks really weird.
When I hear open world MMO, to me, the crafting side of me is like, oh, open world MMO, like that must mean that crafters are like such a big fucking deal in this game. Are they?
Yes. But I know the one thing that'll get you interested, and I'm a really bad person for telling you this. In this game, there's PvP, but if you want to murder someone in your own faction, you can. You can straight up kill someone in your own faction, and you get points put against you that then there's a bounty out on your head. So right there, I was like, that's sweet. I don't know
Yep.
what the actual system is. I don't know how it works. You
God,
get put into
I mean,
prison. You get put into prison if you get caught. I don't know how you get out of prison. I don't know how that works.
Maybe you have to serve time, just like
Again, I've
Ultimate.
only read the game, but like,
I mean, I'm seeing people flying on shit, naval battles, fucking
yes.
giant
So
castle
crafting-
sieges.
yes, the crafting is pretty expansive. You can craft boats, which then you can have naval battles. There's an entire pirate island, so I think you can just play as a pirate and like denounce whatever faction you're with and just say, fuck you, I'm going to go do my own thing on Pirate Island. There's full-on naval combat. There's boats that have like 5-person manable boats that have guns and stuff, and you have to do everything that you have to do on a boat, apparently. There's castles which you can build, which are buildable by guilds that set up in like these giant PvP zones to where you literally build a gigantic castle and it has this like white sphere around it that people can then within the guild build your own town. So like a person can have their house next to their guildmate, which has their house. And then these can be raided and like attacked, apparently. Again, some of the stuff, again, I haven't played it myself, so I'm just kind of going off what I've read. It seems really cool, but I don't know if it's actually cool. Yeah.
Right.
You can build in the Korean patch right now that they're on. I think they just introduced airships, so you can like build an airship and fly an airship. Apparently, right now in the game there's gliders. I think you unlock a glider at 20, and so like you can glide around. There's mounts that you get at like level 10. The mounts have XP. I don't know what that does. So
Yeah, so this is out in Korea already, right?
I think it's been on Korea for about a year.
There's like an English
I
sort
see.
of beta.
Yeah, it's coming over to the West. It's got full PvP. I know there's a lot of dungeons already. I know there's some. I think there's some raiding in it. I was watching some streams where people are doing it. It doesn't take too long to level. I think the stream I was watching yesterday, Tally got to like 18 in a couple of hours, so it's not a big commitment. One of the craziest things is that there's 120 possible classes in the game. And I say that, and you're just immediately like, what? So the way that works is when you start out the game, you choose from 6 classes. Then when you hit level like 5, you unlock another tier of classes. Then when you hit level 10, you unlock another tier. And these are all just skills. And so then these 3 things that you choose combine to form a class. So there's 120 combinations of this apparently.
Whoa.
Which will change to whatever you want to do.
That's totally
so I don't know.
crazy.
Everything that I've seen about this game looks great. I don't know what the shitty aspect of it is, and I really want to know what the shitty aspect of it is. Like, there's got to be something that's just bad. That just sucks.
It
I just tried to sign up for the beta.
Do what, Marcus?
Is it just
I tried to sign up for the beta and that didn't work, so maybe that's one of the things that's broken.
Maybe so.
I wonder if
Maybe
it's
so.
just the grind.
It might be. I mean, there's people that are already level 50 pretty quickly. So.
Jeez.
JP is that what you saw? Willard Krug?
Yeah. JP's the snake oil salesman of the MMO world. It might be true.
I'm telling you, this MMO will clear hemorrhoids. It's amazing. You'll not get cancer. You'll
One of the
live
things
for
that I
1,000
saw
years.
yesterday on a stream week is everyone was like, you got to go see the Kraken. And people are like, what? So this guy like Tally gets picked up in this giant galleon, and they're just like out at the sea, and all of a sudden he just dies in like a second. And like you see this giant tentacle come up from the fucking water and just like smash the boat into a fucking billion pieces. And there's this gigantic fucking Kraken underneath the water. And like this is a raid boss that you can kill with. It takes like, I think it said 20 galleons, and galleons are 5-manned boats.
Oh my god.
So it's gonna take a long time before he dies. But I've also read that there's submarines in the game, which is kind of nuts. I don't know how that works.
That's kind of nuts.
I don't know.
I think underwater is going to be the new outer space for games.
Probably.
There's like a few underwater games coming that I noticed.
Great.
Anyway, I think that this is a terrible thing to say, but I think the actual snake oil salesman of the MMO world is Richard Garriott.
Probably.
It hurts my heart to hear you say that, but I can't disagree.
I know.
You know, like I swear to God, Richard Garriott, as having captured me as a forever fan with UO, has basically been like holding a carrot, like come to me to my next
Yeah.
project, and soon I will
I
unveil
think it was
Was it
Ultima.
Tryon? Was that the name of his game that failed so
Tabula
hard?
Tryon is
Rasa.
the one that
Tabula
Tabula
Rasa.
Rasa.
Tryon's
Tryon's the one that does RHH.
Yeah, yeah.
RHH people. Yeah.
I meant to say Tabula.
And now he's got another one coming. He's got another MMO coming. And I
Shroud
was
of the
reading
Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar. And I was reading, if I had it in Reach, I would grab the new Game Informer because it has some quotes from him. And it just made me laugh out loud, you know, with all due respect, because it was just like, dude, you said this last time.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, you know, with other MMOs, it's just a matter of, you know, it's all just whack-a-mole or whatever. But in my game, you know, or all RPGs today aren't really about skill, but in my game, and it's like, dude, for one, no. There's plenty of games that actually do what you're saying. It's just you don't play them because you're just sitting in your castle and going to the moon. So you don't actually follow gaming anymore, so you don't know.
Yeah.
And second of all, you promise a shit all the time and then you don't deliver and then you go off to the next thing. I mean, again, I have great memories of the Ultimas, but at this point, it's like, yeah,
Now,
I'm not buying your next bottle of swill.
have you seen the game? Like, you know, they
Shroud of the
released
Avatar?
they released like their 6-month progress video a little bit back.
Does it look good?
Dude, it's supposed to hit guys like me, because I'm like, wait a second, there's a lot of shit in here that I recognize from Ultima Online. Like, what's going on? The character sheet pops up. I'm like, oh shit, that looks a little familiar. And I just feel like it is like tickling that nostalgia nerve or whatever. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get sucked in. I'm like, I want to at least try this out but I mean, he's definitely using that Ultima feel to try to get people sucked into it for sure.
He's trying to get you personally to finance his next trip to outer space.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Pretty much.
So
Yeah.
if you're for that, then go ahead.
One last thing on Arcade, which actually carries so much weight with it, both good and bad. It's free to play.
Oh. Yeah.
So there's no buy-in. I think you can subscribe monthly and you get some perks of some sort, but I don't know what the microtransaction is in the game. So I'm very interested to see what that is. So we'll find out once I get in. And then next week, I'll be talking shit about the game and how boring it is, et cetera, et cetera. So tune in then.
I mean, you know, I'm looking at this right now. And, like, if he actually was making a trailer to sell me Shroud of the Avatar, then that's what he did. Because I'm, like, looking at the same shit where it's like, I used that smelting thing in Ultima Online, except it was, like, a little pixelated 2D thing, right? Doesn't it look exactly like Ultima when he opens all that shit up?
What a dick.
And well, I mean, it sort of is. It's like, but yeah,
I'm too cynical. I just think he's sitting around with some of his buddies, and he's just like he's doing like a random like Garriott game name generator. You know, Shroud of the Avatar. Yeah, that sounds kind of like Ultima. Let's throw up a website. And we'll get $1,000 out of guys like djWHEAT. And then another month later, it's going to be some other bullshit thing, vaguely referencing Britannia.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I know, but I'll be the first one to say it's a piece of shit if it comes down to that.
That looks ridiculous.
That's for sure. Sorry.
Any big news?
Dude, I just love this picture. I just have to show this picture and all the like seriousness that we've had today. I saw it like I don't know, last week, the end of PAX, whatever, and it was just simply Gaben Hint's Half-Life 3. And when you see the picture, it's just hilarious because he was wearing this Parsifal like hat at a conference. And so someone looked it up on Wikipedia, is like, Parsifal is an opera in 3 acts. And then suddenly it's like, I love it. Even if we never see Half-Life 3, if the internet keeps on coming up with hilarious shit like this, I'll be okay with that. So it's so funny. Did you guys see that when it came out?
Yeah.
It front page Reddit real fast.
Oh, yeah, I got there
Yes,
real quick.
yes.
Got there real quick.
I don't know if Half-Life 3 can ever come out now.
Dude, the hype.
I mean,
Oh god.
How would it ever live up to our dreams?
We've talked about that on the show before. Like, what if what if at the end of like the PlayStation 4 conference, and it's like, you guys remember last year we shit all over Microsoft? Well, we're about to do it again. Let's welcome Gabe Newell out on the stage, and he just walks out wearing like Half-Life 3 attire. And it's just like, hi, and then it's like, we'll see you guys next year. Like the internet would just explode. It would be over. It would be so funny if, like, that's how you have to present something like that, right? Because there's so much hype that all you have to do is just like wear a Half-Life 3 shirt, and you walk out on the conference, and then fucking people just lose their minds.
You know, like, there's a part of me that just thinks they should be like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll never make this game. Let's get Brian. Let's get Bryan Cranston. Let's just make this teaser trailer that's like him turning around with like a crowbar, and just watch the whole fucking world explode, and then no one will care that Half-Life 3 ever gets made. If like they just make that movie, and then I'll be so happy, and we'll be all good.
That would
If anything,
I would throw them all my money.
Exactly, all of it.
Valve's in the type of situation right now where like they're literally the Nintendo of just printing money. Like Nintendo gave them the machine, Nintendo had enough with it, and they're like, we're gonna go fuck around for 2 years and jack shit. Here you go, Steam or Valve, you can just print some money. To where like they could just come out, and I probably when Half-Life 3 is ready, they'll be like, all right guys, here's Half-Life 3, the entire game, free to play. You can get it right now. Steam, just get it.
Do you think that there actually is a Half-Life 3 in development? Do you think there's like 50 people working on Half-Life 3 right now?
I don't know, man. I do. Who knows what goes inside of those fucking offices? Like, it's just a bunch of guys with their desk on wheels. And like, wee.
Yeah. I mean, it's
rolling in money.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever even confirmed it? You know, outside of because we know that like Blizzard's working on their new MMO Titan or whatever, but I don't know, man.
When I was at Computer Gaming World magazine, we did a Half-Life 3 cover line. I'm gonna see if I could find it.
God.
I mean, we're talking like 5-6 years ago, and we said I forget what the line was. It was hilarious now in retrospect because it was like Half-Life 3. A new Half-Life 3 every something weeks or something, because they were like talking up how it's going to be episodic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Way to go on that one, guys.
Yeah. But, you know, do they really owe us Half-Life 3? Do they? I mean,
you know, they did say they were going to have all this episodic content, and they did leave 2 wide open for a conclusion. So
they did.
You know, like, did we need to see Return of the Jedi? Yeah, you know, I suppose not really. But, you know, I kind of feel like we're obligated to it. I don't know.
At this point, though, it's going to look so radically different from the other games at this point. Like, I don't even know what it could look like. That's the crazy thing.
What if it has like microtransactions too, you know?
Yeah.
$1 to use the crowbar.
Valve's the type of company that like we have no idea what is going on in those offices. They're privately owned. They make so much fucking money. Like, who knows how much actual money Steam makes on a daily basis. It's probably one of the most profitable things in gaming. 100% it has to be.
I'd agree.
And so, like, they might be solving cancer in there. Like, we don't actually know what's going on. So I just keep waiting. I just keep waiting to see what Valve's going to do when it comes to game development.
I do love the idea of I love the idea of what you said of like all of a sudden it's just out. How awesome would that be? They're announcing Half-Life 3, and here it is.
Yeah. And
available tomorrow at midnight.
The thing too is like they just do a full Steam takeover, and it just says Half-Life 3 and like white text with a black background, and then it says download now, and you just click that.
That would be.
They could even be real dicks about it, and like have it download in the background overnight. So when you wake up, everyone's just like, "Oh my god, play it right now!" It's here, guys. We could play it right now.
Stop doing this. Now I feel bad that this is not happening.
I know.
All right. Well, we're way over, but you know we had a lot to
Way
cover, so we should probably think about wrapping stuff up now.
I think next week we need to talk about the Xbox One selling 5 million to stores and the PS4 selling 7 million to consumers.
I'm out of town next week. I'm sorry.
Well, we can still do it like Saturday.
You know what? I am too.
Oh, you're
Oh
going
yeah,
I'm
that's
out of
right.
town too.
I think we
Well,
actually
I'm out of
talked about
town
that.
Friday. I could do it the weekend.
Oh, we
could
might
do
be able to
Saturday.
do the weekend. Yeah, we might be able to do that.
We don't have role plays, so.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Okay, that might work perfect. That might work perfect.
Great.
I think we had that discussion and you were really drunk, Wheat. So.
I think that might have happened, JP. I think you actually did say, well, we don't have role play, and I probably said like, great idea, let's do that.
See, I got to stop having like logical and intelligent discussions when drunk because I remember them and I'm like a what's it called, a functioning alcoholic, and everyone else is just drunk.
I got to tell you, JP, this show I started using an app called Voice Record, and it's just like you can get it anywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at first I felt like a fucking moron just talking to myself on my phone. I cannot tell you how many like ideas and or reminders I have saved myself on just because you're just gone in here and been like, oh yeah, definitely email that guy about the mobile stuff, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know. Try it. I just use
That's how I use,
voice recorder.
the only time I use Siri is when drunk and I need to set my alarm.
Yeah.
Set an alarm for 9:30,
because then I can't.
Siri.
Exactly.
I don't trust that shit or my drunk voice though.
It's
to be
like,
able to get it
we
right.
have emailed your mom to go fuck herself.
Yeah.
Do you want to set? I was like, no, an alarm at 9:30. Email sent. Like,
Or you're drunk and you're just like, yeah, that's what I said.
oh god. All right, let's wrap it up. We'll do final shout outs here. We'll start with you, Jeff Green. How's it going? Your final shout outs.
Everything's awesome. That's Jeff Green. That's at Greenspeak, Twitch TV / Greenspeak. I am going to live stream Dark Souls 1 again today and this weekend. I have a week now to beat Dark Souls 2. I mean, to beat Dark Souls 1 until Dark Souls 2.
Right.
So I got to get on it. I got a marathon until I beat this fucking game. So it's going to happen.
How many bosses you got?
Watch out.
Well, I have Manus to beat, and I think I could go to the last boss in the vanilla game if I want to right now. So it's whether I want to keep going on the DLC bosses or.
You got to beat Manus.
I have to be Manus.
Yeah.
Can I then go to the end boss?
Oh yeah, then I think that's it. I don't know what other bosses you have.
I think
left.
there's a dragon. There's a dragon apparently.
No. I thought you fought Calamite already.
I told you guys that last time we streamed, and I lied.
What?
I lied by accident.
Oh.
I know. I beat a different guy. It wasn't the dragon. It was somebody whose tail I cut off. And I remember you guys were all amazed, but it wasn't that guy.
Yeah,
it was a different
that's why
guy.
I was amazed. Okay.
I know. See, I didn't beat him.
Okay, you still got probably a good 3-4 hours, depending on how.
Calamite.
Yeah,
Manus and Calamite. Right. And then Gwyn, which is vanilla
Gwyn's
game,
optional.
or
Gwyn's option.
Gwyn is optional.
Yeah.
Okay. People are asking me what time the stream starts today. I'm not sure. Maybe 4 p.m. PST, if I can.
Sweet.
All right. Cool.
JP.
And then next week's Dark Souls 2 all over again, which looks to be a very
All over again.
PC port. So we didn't talk about that, but it looks like it's gonna be good.
Looking pretty good. Yeah.
I'll probably stream something later today. I'm hoping that I get into Arcade today so I can find out if that game's actually a steaming pile of shit and I've just been lied to, or if it's actually good or not. If not, I might jump into some FTL. Regardless, it sounds like Rage will be happening in some form on stream later today, whether it's a bad MMO or
something.
FTL. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's all I got. And
All right.
in terms of YouTube content, I don't really have anything crazy coming out, and yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot either since we don't have a role play tomorrow. But I did come home and shower my kid with a bunch of stuff from PAX, And I figured out that the best way to record videos with him is to just not tell him that we're going to record videos, so you get his absolute genuine reactions. This one is quite good. You can find it on youtube.com/djWHEAT. And although I am going to be in San Francisco next week, I'm going to try to stream this weekend. Also, I've been working on a new project at Twitch called the Twitch Weekly. And we just released like our 4th episode. It's just kind of like a summarization of all the stuff that's going on over the course of the next week. But you can check that out by going to blog.twitch.tv. Yeah, it's kind of fun. You know, it's like there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about, and hopefully we continue to cultivate that a little bit more. But it's cool. Yep. So, yeah.
Blog.twitch.
If you go to blog.twitch.tv, the newest episode's right at the top. And it releases every Friday, like right before 8-bits. So it's been my intention to actually stream it to go into 8-bits, but I haven't quite made that work too much so people can see it. But anyway, that's about it for me. So guys,
before I lose gamer cred, Gwen is the last boss. I thought they meant Gwendolyn. Anyways, please continue.
Okay. I don't have anything else to say, guys. Thanks for joining us for episode 30, version 3.0. We'll see you next time on another episode of 8-Bits. Keep an eye on our Twitters. We'll let you know what's going to happen with next week between the Friday and Saturday, but probably Saturday. I got nothing else. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.